What's going on, folks? All right, just going to do a little side-by-side comparison of these two batteries here. Right now, these are the two biggest batteries in their 20-volt platforms, the DeWalt and the Milwaukee. Soon, the DeWalt will have their 20-volt 9 amp hour battery, 3 amp hour 60-volt battery, or 54 volt. I'm sure I'm going to be getting that a lot, you know. And, I just want to say, I like both of these companies. They're both brilliant. They make great tools. I'm not choosing one over the other. And, this is just a little side-by-side comparison. Just going to state a couple of my opinions. And that's all. It's not war here. It's just looking at two batteries. But anyway, so this is right now. Now they're going to have a 20 volt max, just a 20 amp hour battery coming out soon, which is a real. I'm really happy about that, because if you've seen me do some of these videos before, I use this Flexvolt battery on the 20 volt blower. Now, I use the DeWalt 20 volt line commercially. I use their hedge trimmer, their regular trimmer, weed whip, weed whacker, whatever you want to call it, and their blower. I think they're absolutely amazing. Lightweight, everything a lithium ion tool should be. Plenty of power, or good enough power. You're going to get people who run gas powered equipment, and it's all about, oh, mine does 4,000 strokes per minute. The DeWalt only does 2,800 strokes per minute. And, yeah, you might get done a little quicker. And, I've never had any issues with that DeWalt hedge trimmer. I've done hedge trimming when things have gotten bad. If I can find it. Yeah, it's on the floor over here. This is a 10-year-old Ryobi hedge trimmer that runs off their 18 volt platform. When I got this, they were still using their nickel cadmium. And when things got, tough, when I ran out of gas with this, well, actually, this never ran out of gas, but I had an old Steel. I've had an old Shindawa hedge trimmer in the past, and I remember the Shindawa went down for a couple weeks, and I had to use this goddamn thing. And let me tell you, I think it does 1,800 strokes per minute, and yes, this does 3,800, and it's great, but it got the job done. And 2,800 strokes per minute can cut through anything. It really can. Unless you're hedging a goddamn jungle, for your normal, boxwoods, rose bushes, whatever the 20 volt is fine. Now, I don't mean to get off subject, but I just want to not collaborate. I just want to tell you my love for the 20 volt platform, because I think their 20 volt outdoor line. I just did some videos of their 40 volt backpack blower and their 40 volt handheld blower, and I think they're dropping the ball a little bit. Now, they do have their 60 volt line coming out, and I think that might be something that they can really add, get into that true commercial power with. But again, you can't run their outdoor power equipment with a 2 amp hour battery in the 60 volt. So that's why, this battery is plenty strong enough. It's plenty. The runtime is more than enough. That's why, I'm going to stick with their 20 volt platform for now until Milwaukee comes out with theirs, and I'm going to try theirs. But their 20 volt outdoor line is everything to me that I want it to be. It's lightweight, you get great runtime, and the price is very, very reasonable. Now, I'm only bringing in that because, we can talk about these a little quick. You know, they're similar in a lot of ways, and they're not. You know, basically, I'm just going to go over some of the the main stuff. You know, they both have 15 cells in them. The DeWalt uses 2 amp hour cells. The Milwaukee uses 3 amp hour cells. The Milwaukee's 162 kilowatt hours. This DeWalt is 108 kilowatt hours. So, size wise, like I was going to say in another video, I had to actually edit it out. It was just getting too long. When I first saw this Milwaukee battery, I'm like, man, this thing isn't much bigger than their 5 amp hour battery. Oh, this is great, and this is awesome. And it is. It is, you know, really not that much bigger. We went over it last night a little bit. I think I did anyway. I think I kind of compared the size to that. Well, if not, I'm going to do it right now. Hold on a second. Okay, so here's a side-by-side of the two. You got the 9 amp hour here and the 5 amp hour here. You know, it's bigger. Obviously, it's bigger. It's going to be a little bit longer also. So we can look at it from just about... That's about right. But, you know, it's bigger. Again, it's almost double the amp hour. You know, it's 9.0, 5.0. But all around, you know, with stationary tools, this is not going to be any issue. And, you know, you're not going to use this battery on an impact driver. You're not going to use it on a drill, your regular, you know, drill driver. It's just not necessary, and it's going to add unnecessary weight to the tool. But, you know, getting back to what I was talking about is the 20 volt platform with their outdoor equipment. Because like I said, I'm a landscaper, and that's kind of what I'm going off of with this. And, you know, I'm hopefully, I've heard so many different stories from different people, from DeWalt reps to, you know, all kinds of people on YouTube and on Instagram and stuff. Hopefully they're going to come out with a 9 amp hour battery for just the 20 volt stuff. Because I think that would really put them on pace with this Milwaukee 9.0. Now I'm talking strictly just their outdoor line, because that's kind of, you know, what I do, and, you know, kind of like my expertise with these big batteries. Because again, I don't use table saws to be using this Flexvolt. I don't really use, you know, I have my miter saw. Actually, I just got another rigid, $199. I put it in the vid. I just had to get another one, so I'm going to leave one at my parents' house because I'm doing some stuff over there this winter, and I got one here. But all right, I'm getting off the subject. But I think I'm glad that Milwaukee stayed. Their outdoor line that's coming out is going to be the 18 volt platform. They're not going up to the 40 volt. They're not going up to the 60 volt, because, you know, with weight, that to me is really important. Now again, with stationary tools, it doesn't matter, you know. And this is an awesome battery, and it's a game changer. It really is, because with a lot of this battery alone, you know, this 6 amp hour, 2 amp hour in the 60 volt or 54 volt, whatever you want to say, is a great battery. And the added power that you're going to get in the 20 volt, you know, with runtime, and I'm telling you, with that blower, I definitely added some pop to it. But, you know, once you start getting, you know, this 60 volt platform, now I'm using the outdoor power equipment line just as a line, just as a set of tools. You know, when you're going to have to run a blower, when you're going to have to run a trimmer, when you're going to have to run a hedge trimmer in this 60 volt platform that they're doing. Now, it's supposed to be coming out, I don't know, I've heard dates of March, April, who knows. But when you get into the monstrous size of something like this, now this is their 40 volt battery, okay, 7.5 amp hour. Now, you're going to need something, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 amp hour, because you're going to need that runtime when you're running a hedge trimmer. You're going to need that runtime when you're running a blower, and, these batteries, you can afford not to really have the runtime, but you're getting the runtime. But you can afford to do it not only because how small they are, you can shove these in your pocket, is really the cost. I mean, these batteries have gotten so cheap, these 5 amp hour batteries. I just got one for free with buying, you saw the video at Home Depot probably like 6 weeks ago. I bought their impact wrench. And because I bought it, they gave me a free 5 amp hour battery. So, I mean, I got like 4 or 5 of these things. And I have 4 or 5 of their DeWalt's 5 amp hour batteries. Great batteries. But my point is, with both these batteries, and we're going to weigh them and everything, I'm kind of taking this whole versus thing in a different direction, because you've probably seen millions of videos on these going over the internals and everything else. What this video is more about is I really want to emphasize, I'm not going to be able to say this right, emphasize the weight and the size of these batteries. Because, if you're going to use them stationary, that's great. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. You can plop this in a miter saw, plop this in a table saw, you're fine. But once you get to, something like this, I did a video on the handheld blower. They have a 40-volt handheld blower, nice blower, excellent blower, very powerful lithium-ion blower. But the blower itself is 7.5 pounds. And this battery right here is 4.5 pounds. So this is, almost over half the weight of the actual tool. You know what I'm saying? And you're not getting that much more power. You're definitely not getting that much more runtime. And, the costs of these batteries are crazy. This is a, $300 battery. So that's that. I just want to talk about, the only reason I'm mentioning the weight is because, a lot of people are going to use these batteries for non-stationary stuff, and, they really shouldn't. They're really not made for that. This one is, absolutely. But, this 9 amp hour battery, I mean, you can use it. It's not that heavy. We're going to weigh them. And, it's all up to you people to make your decision on what you're going to do and what platform you're in and what platform you're going to get in. But, I just wanted to go over some of the comparisons in size and weight in this video. That's all. And I'm only bringing up this only because, I really think that the 20-volt platform or 18-volt platform, I think it's always going to be a mainstay. I think, companies have come out with 40 volts, and I think Milwaukee had a 24 volt, and Ryobi's had a 40 volt, and Makita has a 36 volt, and they've disappeared. Now, I'm not saying this is a game changer here. This is something that DeWalt did that is extraordinary, and I got to give them credit. They really hit a home run with this, because this battery is a nice compact size. You're getting 6 amp hours, and if you ever want to go to one of these Flexvolt tools, when they're 60 volt tools, I mean, you're set. And these, they're powerful. They're corded like power. You know what I'm saying? You're getting, the days of, when the job gets tough, no matter what you do, you still got to use a corded tool. You still got to use a corded circular saw. You still got to use a corded recip saw. With this 60 volt platform by DeWalt, they've really, there's no more excuse. I mean, there's no more debate. Cordless power is now here with this platform. But so I just wanted to say that. And probably didn't make sense to a lot of you, because you're not ever going to get their outdoor power equipment line of any of these companies. You can care less. You're going to run your gas powered stuff. But I just want to give Milwaukee credit too, because I think this is a great battery. It's we're going to weigh them. We went over the size. Now, their DeWalt battery that's coming out, but just going over real quick before I jump to that. You can see the DeWalt is a little bit higher. It's a little bit longer in height, or a little. It's, if you can see that right here. The Milwaukee is a little bit longer. Now the new, I haven't touched the new DeWalt battery. That's going to be a 3 amp hour 60 volt and a 9 amp hour 20 volt. It's going to be bigger. I'm not sure if it's going to be longer. I haven't touched it. I don't know if it's going to be a little bit higher. I have no idea. But they really did a great job with this battery. And you know what? If this battery is the same size as their new 20 volt 6 amp hour battery, it's really a no-brainer. You should get this battery, But if it's smaller, then it's something to consider, weight-wise. If I can get my blower to be, a half a pound lighter, you might be like, oh, it's only half a pound. But I'm telling you, the littlest amount of weight, and even if it's a pound, a half a pound, or whatever it is, it makes a difference. I mean, I'm using, we'll pretend this is a DeWalt, but they're 5 amp hour batteries, 1.5 pounds. This is 4.5 pounds. So a 3 pound difference makes a big difference. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be that big of a difference. Obviously, it's going to be nowhere near going up to a 9 amp hour from this and a 20 volt and to a 3 amp hour and a 60 volt. But I'm just saying. But let's weigh them. Like I said, the Flexvolt is a little bit taller. And the 9, now you got to remember, this is a 9 amp hour battery compared to a 6 amp hour battery. So you would expect this Milwaukee to be bigger. And it's bigger. A little bit bigger, but it is a 9 amp hour. This is a 6. So when that new Flexvolt comes out, you can really do a more even comparison. But let's weigh them, and we'll take a quick look at that. But Milwaukee's longer, and the Flexvolt is a little bit taller. Okay, we got the scale set up. We're going to weigh the Flexvolt. All right, I got to replace the battery in this scale. But it is 2 pounds, 5.2 ounces for the DeWalt. And for the Milwaukee, it's 2 pounds, 6.4 ounces. Now, I didn't think that this was going to be that light, but it is. Okay. But, so, it's pretty cool. I mean, this is a really awesome battery. And again, I'm not choosing one side over the other. Whoever makes a better outdoor line is going to be. And I love their blower. I love their hedge trimmer. My least favorite is probably their trimmer. It is a great trimmer. The only thing I don't like, everything else, I love that trimmer. Awesome. It's great. But the length of the string is 13 inches. It's a little bit too short. I like it around 15. Milwaukee, their new 60 volt is going to be 15, and I believe their 40 volts 15. That's out now. But that thing is so heavy. That's getting back to, imagine having a, I'm not going to bring it up. It's just 18 minutes long. But so I'm real excited to see what this Milwaukee outdoor line. I've never been more excited for a platform to come out. I talk about it all the time. But just a quick look and a little talk, about the batteries. 2.64 pounds is for a 9 amp hour battery. The technology is just absolutely crazy. It's mind blowing with what's coming out. But we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna hopefully, once that Flexvolt 9 amp hour battery, 20 volt, 3 amp hour 60 volt will come out, we'll get a look at it, and we'll do a little bit more side by side comparison. Everything should be equaled out more. This has 162 kilowatt hours. This has 108. It's a 9 amp hour battery. It's going to have more. So this is just more of a size comparison. This is only like what? An ounce heavier than this. So if they can jump this battery, go up to a 9 amp hour and a 20 volt platform and a 3 amp hour and a 60 volt and only go up an ounce, then it's going to be a real good comparison. You know what I'm saying? Well, for me, it's going to be awesome. Because I can definitely see myself sticking with the because there's really no reason for me to leave this DeWalt outdoor line in the 20-volt platform. It does everything I ask it to do. But the Milwaukee's going to have a little bit more power in every tool. You know, their hedge trimmer is going to have 3,100 strokes per minute. Now this DeWalt one is already amazing at 2,800. It's awesome. It'll cut through it'll cut through an inch thick of freaking bark, twigs, branches. So to have 3,100, it's super excited. I think their outdoor blower is going to have something like 475 CFM. This has 400. So that's a huge, huge difference. So we're going to wait. We're going to see. But just a quick little look, guys. Put a little different perspective into, we can talk about impact drivers and how these batteries work with table saws and miter saws. But for me, I decided I was going to talk because it's something that I do and I know firsthand, and it's the outdoor line. And I think that these batteries right here, both of these batteries are really, I say in a lot of videos, lithium ion is the future. And I get a lot of backflap from a lot of my lawn care guys, and I'll never leave gas ever, But, a lot of people over at GIE, man, people were trying these DeWalt outdoor power tools, and, Greenworks were there with their Greenworks Pro, and there was like these Chinese companies with these lawnmowers that run on these batteries. And, I really think that both of these batteries are going to be a huge, because you've seen these Greenworks batteries and you've seen these Ego batteries that are, the 56 volt Ego battery. I mean, they're big, they're huge. To have a 2.5 pound battery that is going to be able to run this outdoor power equipment line for, 45, 50 minutes. It's just over an hour with their trimmer. It's just amazing. And the new Flexvolt that's coming out should be able to do the same thing. So I'm real excited, especially because this is my trade, and I love it. I love this stuff, and I do think lithium ion is going to play a bigger part of the whole landscape, outdoor maintenance trade, to be honest with you. But we'll have to wait and see. But just a quick little look, and look at this. This is a little quick comparison. And I bet you, if I add both of these bad boys up, so you're looking at 15 amp hours in the 20 volt. Let's do that quick. It'll probably be, well, you can probably do the math already. It's probably a half a pound heavier. Yeah, let's make this video even longer than it is, right? Is this thing even going to work? It might be done. It finally shit the bed. I've been seeing that replace battery thing for the last month, and it still worked. At least I got this important video in. But, yeah, this should equal, a little bit over 5 pounds, and this is like 4.4 pounds. So, you're getting 15 amp hours and a 20 volt. And I'm sure they can even make these smaller, so the added plastic and stuff. But I think the 20 volt is the perfect platform. The 18 volt is the perfect platform for everything. Obviously, not I'm talking about everything, Yeah. I'll catch you.